We're a group of artists collaborating together on this project. We're finding new strategies, new ways of working together in this very distance time, and we hope that we can find new ways of co-creating with you. We invite you to enter our spherical hub. You will discover that there are 6 artists involved in this project so far. Also, bear in mind, this is just a film showing how we envisage the interactive qualities of our website going forward. In effect, it's like visiting a very large public art gallery or museum. And it's an experience where you can come back regularly, you can view different things, and you can spend as much time or as little time in each environment as you want. As a visitor to our site, you will be able to add in to what we've made, you will be able to co-create with us, and you will be able to decide how you want to navigate what you want to see. And this is the beginning of our conversation with you. And you will be able to interact with our environments in all kinds of new ways. So let's give you the guided tour.
I am Mei Chen from Taiwan, work and live in Paris. This artwork is entitled Drifting Life, Dancing with Jellyfish. My idea was to learn that jellyfish drift with the currents without borders, taking advantages of overfishing, global warming, plastic pollution. One of the earliest forms of life on the planet. These basic-looking creatures surprise me by their survival ability in polluted oceans and inspire me with their impressive gelatinous beauty. I imagine to immerse myself in this origin of life which was part of our ancestors.
My name is Terry Broughton and I am a digital artist. My idea for the Boundless project is to present an underwater environment showing small fish being consumed by bigger fish. This will show a food hierarchy and sea life cycle. I decided to focus on fish as I recently became pescatarian and have dived into the world of sea creatures and all the different species. The sea life cycle is about survival within their natural habitat and how the creatures get passed down the food chain, which I'm fascinated by.
Remembrance Dance. Maureen Kendall, artist and technologist, bringing together the tangible and virtual using drawing, digital effects, audio, virtual avatar and interactive worlds. Here the animated figures recall the time we danced. The drawn line captures our limbs extending in motion, our bodies in flux and gesture, the rhythm in flow and ebb, the breath, the oceans as the Earth's womb in conversation with interstellar space that curves in and out.
I'm Nazia Parvez and my project is called Displacement. Recently, people everywhere have experienced a kind of displacement, both literally and metaphorically. During lockdown, our once familiar streets were emptied of life. Occasionally on the news, I caught sight of a distant figure moving silently in the background and quickly out of view. My project is about the connection between the virtual and the real, the tangible and intangible. It strives to unite those present and those absent through a mediated interaction. I imagined a natural landscape superimposed in the urban, the surreal juxtaposition of the London Eye sitting in the middle of a golden wheat field. The staff in the pyramid are interactive elements that connect the virtual space with the real. My idea is to build a pyramidal sculpture on a real site that responds to the movements of the visitor in VR. In this way, a stranger walking along, let's say the South Bank, would witness the sculpture light up and change, in a moment of surprise or delight, knowing that someone is thinking of them.
I am Sarah Rubidge, digital choreographer. My choreographic work has been mediated through technology for over 20 years. However, I'm interested in creating installations rather than digital performances. My installations always have a choreographic sensibility and are always designed to elicit sensation. I'm particularly interested in interactive and immersive installations where visitors explore the work by wandering through its world, creating changes in its texture by their very presence. Often called meditative, my work tries to slow down processes of perception in order to give the visitor time to fully experience a sense of being present.
I'm Fionn Gunn and I'm an artist based in London, originally Irish, and when I made this work I was thinking about the exhibitions that I really love to visit, the ones that are great fun, that transport me, that provide new insights into things, new perspectives. I guess also I'm a bit afraid of fun fair rides and I really envy the people who can go on them. Usually I'm holding the coats, so I thought I would give myself a fun fair ride in this particular artwork. So I've included all those elements that I find really exciting, the idea of exploring underwater, the idea of flying up really high in the sky, of seeing new things and experiencing new feelings and having that sort of those giddy sensations. I also thought it would be fun to embed artworks that I make anyway, these sort of two-dimensional artworks and three-dimensional artworks, and embed them in my landscape. So as you travel around my virtual reality creation, you can also see the other works that I make and that are an important part of my life as an artist. And the ideas in those works and the idea in this virtual reality work is very much about my being interested in exploration, being fascinated by the whole idea of Odyssey, those endless journeys that we take, where we usually end up right at the beginning of where we were when we started out. But nonetheless, it's the journey that's such fun. And I wanted to bring something of that excitement into this work. So here we're looking at some of the interactive elements that are possible. So on this particular wall, as you enter into the space, you could write your name, you could draw an image. You can choose your ride and decide which direction you take. And here you've got an underwater film where you see from a fish's perspective what other fish might look like. And sticking with the sort of fishy theme, the next interactive element is a story. You listen to a story about the salmon of knowledge. After which you journey into the centre of the planet in the middle of the landscape and you can watch this movie about one of my works. And then on through we journey into a rock, and what do we find when we get inside? Here's an invitation to read me another story. Once you're journeying around the Odyssey ride landscape, there are portals to visit other artists' work, like Terry Broughton. And then we go down the coil and we visit Sarah. We come and visit Nazia's work. and then we continue on towards Maureen's portal. At each portal, the visitor will be able to enter and access the artist's environment. Just like here, we see in the midst of the jellyfish, there's the portal for Matesen's space. And you can visit her space directly from there. And finally, we come to your space. And this is a space for the participants, the visitors to our site. If you would like to leave a piece of writing, a response to what you've seen, it could be an artwork of your own, it could be a photograph, it could be a film clip. This is the place where you will leave it. And we've designed the space with a moving sea underneath, a wall of sea on one side, a starry sky overhead. In this space, you will be able to leave whatever you want behind. It might be a question for us. It might be a comment. So this is the space where we can begin our creative conversation and hopefully take it much further.
Elisa